Ima es kamerana.
Esse option, okay. Esse of posadu au ei cara posadu.
Alright.
Please everybody take your seats and both of them check.
Ready?
We're live.
Okay. Hello and welcome everyone. I'm Gabriel and today I'm here with Narek Gevorkian, the CEO of CoinStats.
Hi, welcome to Supernova Poll.
CoinStats team has been hard at work the whole year delivering major improvements and a series of new product features. So we brought our community and partners together today to share these products and features and to discuss the DeFi and NFT market. Are there any DeFi users watching here? Leave your comments down below. We'll share some of the new features that make CoinStats the #1 shop for your crypto analytics. We have guests today from Zen Academy, Metaverse HQ, Polygon, SushiSwap, and Phantom. For now, we have Zeneca with us. Those of you who are into NFTs already know who this guy is. Hi, Zeneca. Welcome. We're excited
Hello,
to have
hello.
you at Supernova Fall. Say hello to our viewers and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey, thanks for having me. Happy to be here. And quick recap on me. I got into NFTs and Web3 in early 2021. Before that, I was a poker player, so very different background. And I spent a lot of time trading, flipping coins and then NFTs specifically. And for the better part of last year, that's kind of what I did. But then simultaneously, I was creating content. I had a newsletter, a podcast, and was really enjoying the content side of things more. So I decided to lean into that, which led to the formation of Zen Academy, which is a community I created with a focus on education and learning and sharing good information to the community, not just our existing community, but like the community at large. And I have been building and working on that for the better part of the last year.
That's awesome. CoinStats, on the other hand, is one of the world's leading crypto portfolio managers. Our more than 1 million active users track their crypto, DeFi, and NFT assets in real time every single month. We have more than 300 wallet and exchange integrations and more than 1,000 DeFi integrations. The CoinStats team has introduced so many new features this year. The app is becoming a place where the crypto community can get all of its data and act on it right away. Narek, I know that's important for you. I'd like to hear what you have to say about these NFT features.
We are excited to talk more and launch those features, specifically CoinStats Midas, NFT tracking, price alerts, etc. And we'd love to tell you more about those features really soon.
Gotcha. I'd like to talk a little bit about CoinStats Midas. CoinStats Midas is a brand new CoinStats product line aimed at helping NFT investors make better decisions. Narek, can you expand on that a little?
Sure. So what CoinStats Midas's vision is to provide you better data in order to become a better investor. Obviously, it's not a financial advice, but it just gives you data on specifically investments on blockchain, looking at smart wallets, and if a certain amount of smart wallets invest in a certain token or an NFT or any kind of cryptocurrency, it shoots an alert saying that certain amount, let's say 10 smart wallets bought a specific NFT. And most of the time, those NFTs go up. Almost 79% of our tests, the collections went up, and one of the collections went up actually 25 times. We have caught some of the collections really early. And it's important to note that I spent a lot of time looking at Discords, etc., trying to catch some new projects to be on top of the market. But with CoinStats Midas, specifically with the NFT alerts feature, I'm not spending time on that anymore. I'm just waiting for an alert, and it catches basically pretty much any new NFT collection which is getting popular to market, and it catches really early, the second all the smart wallets are buying it.
So it kind of acts like an early alert system, or just kind of like a news amalgamation where you don't have to go to all these different places to find the news you need.
Exactly. And then you can do your real research and decide to invest in that specific NFT collection or not.
Gotcha. So Narek, I'd like to hear a little bit more about NFT, the NFT stats, the alerts, the portfolio tracking features on CoinStats, the stuff that's already there. Would you mind telling us a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. Alongside with CoinStats Midas, we had to create a lot of NFT-related features like floor price tracking, overall NFT data, historical data tracking, and floor price alerts. Specifically, you can set some notification on CoinStats Midas, receive some alert, then buy that collection, and then set a floor price alert and get notified whenever the collection price goes up. On top of that, obviously, alongside with our regular features like tracking NFTs you own on your portfolio, it's only limited on Ethereum blockchain, but we're gonna add more blockchains over the time. Those blockchains get more adoption on NFTs. We wanted to add Solana, but we kind of paused it, see what's going on with that blockchain.
Makes total sense.
So yeah, again, excited to share that news.
Gotcha. Listen, I wanted to talk a little bit more about what NFT traders actually need. We'll talk to Zeneca again about this topic, but we'd like to welcome Mitch from Metaverse HQ. Metaverse HQ is one of the top tokenized communities for NFT traders, investors, builders, and educators. CoinStats is particularly interested in them because they're bringing more tools to the NFT trading space to trade efficiently and spend less time glued to your screen. What are some of the tools and implementations that you guys would like to see while you're trading NFTs? Leave your answers in the comments. Mitch, welcome. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself and about Metaverse HQ? What are you guys working on right now?
Yeah, hello. I think that, to share Roy's sentiment, a lot of people in the NFT space currently were onboarded by a really insane slew of products that showcased a lot of what this space could be. I think NBA Top Shot, Dapper Labs is really home run product after the CryptoKitties product. Was a massive on-ramp for us, similar to how Reddit NFTs are today. I think Zed Run, for me personally, was, shout out to Polygon, was one of my first favorite projects to be investing in. And yeah, so we came into the space as investors, essentially to bring together some of the most prolific and engaged NFT enthusiasts, traders, and in the early days of Metaverse HQ last July, we became the most profitable and biggest NFT traders on the Ethereum blockchain. And where we've come into the space today, again, with being sort of the super node of Web3, we have seen an amazing, talented alumni network. Zeneca's poked his head into Metaverse HQ once or twice. And it's really grown into, from a community to a family of NFT traders to an organization of the most prolific builders, traders in the space.
Gotcha. I wanted to bring us around back to NFTs in specific. They're definitely bringing more attention to the crypto world, and you're kind of seeing more spiking adoption rates these days. With all these new users entering the market, what do you see them needing most, Mitch?
I think education is probably the number one thing, and this is something that I really feel Zeneca and I share, because a lot of what we do at Metaverse HQ is education based. We create a lot of research and analysis based content, both for our members privately and for the outward facing community. And this is really the only way, or the best way, in my opinion, to on ramp an individual from Web 2 into Web 3, and even more so, someone that might be interested in trading NFTs, flipping NFTs, or even what might in being able to determine what might be a good investment NFT wise. Content is always the best way to do it, taking an educative approach stance. Yeah, as long as it's not my my seed phrase being broken into, I think we're good, Zeneca. I'm sorry about that. I'm in New York right now, so it can be quite loud. But
I mean, city living, right?
exactly. But at any rate, again, I think the core is education. I think it's content. I think it's the white glove approach, because right now it's just incredibly difficult to on ramp onto NFTs. To make a first purchase on NFT, it doesn't even matter what blockchain. There's too many steps, too many layers.
Absolutely. A lot of it's just getting started. Narek, did you have anything that you wanted to add to that topic?
Yeah, sure. Obviously, education is important, and on top of that, I'd like to add that more projects with actual utilities that what needed to the project. Education, user experience, etc. All those are highly important to get onboarded into NFTs really easily. But on top of that, I see one of the biggest problem is that there are not so many collections with real utility. I'm sure that's gonna change. I'm sure that's gonna evolve further. But right now, what we are seeing in the market is just a lot of projects with a lot of promises. A lot of them will make it there out there, but a lot will fail, leaving the investors with nothing. So I'd recommend everyone again educating, doing your research before investing in any NFT collection.
Right. Zenica, anything to say?
No, I mean, Mitch summed it up really well. Education obviously is a huge part of what we do at Zen Academy and place a huge emphasis on it. And I think that we've seen, we all know the onboarding process is difficult. It's really, it's dangerous, it's treacherous. There's a lot to learn. People don't know where to start. Reddit did an amazing job of onboarding a lot of people into NFTs and digital avatars and digital collectibles. I'm excited to see what Starbucks is going to do coming up. They're doing 25 to 35 million people on the Polygon network coming into their rewards program, Odyssey. So I think that's something to really keep an eye on. And I guess I'll just say for anyone watching, we released a free course for anyone to learn about NFTs. It's 30 days of NFTs. You can find it at 30daysofnfts.com. And it's really like the beginner guide. It's like how to get started and like really what is an NFT and take it from there. So obviously a huge importance on education is something that we all need to pitch in for, I think.
Zenica, while I have you, I wanted to ask you, now knowing a little bit more about Midas, does that seem like an intriguing product to you?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've been trading NFTs for like a year to 18 months. I was doing it a lot more last year and then a little less this year as I'm building Zen Academy and focusing on other things. But what we've noticed over the last 6 to 12 months is this emergence of more and more tools and analytics software. And like, if you want to be trading successfully, you kind of need to be using some tools now, just to give yourself some sort of an edge. And so like wallet tracking, seeing what the smart money is doing, all of those things are really important. And it's like constantly evolving. And I think that the more people can come out with like more advanced tools and the more that people utilize those tools, the better chances of success that they have. So I think it's really cool what Midas is doing.
Absolutely. Speaking of Midas, did you have a demo that you wanted to show us?
Yeah, sure. I'll take over the demo on my laptop real quick. I should share the screen here. So, is my screen on a stream already?
Well, it doesn't look like it's quite there yet, but I think we'll get there. Live events.
Is it on stream yet?
Nope, it's not there yet.
All right.
But I'm sure it will be there momentarily.
Okay, I guess it's there already. So CoinStats Midas, as I told already, is just monitoring the NFT markets and looking for what smart wallets are doing and sending you alerts and showing on a dashboard what smart wallets are buying, thus letting you know that it also might be a good investment opportunity. Besides just investment opportunity, it allows you to not spend hours every day on a lot of Discord or Twitter to discover new projects. So if we look here as the latest projects which pumped up, unfortunately in today's market there are not really many new projects coming up every day. What we have seen in more in better markets is that like 10 new collections coming up every day. So this will work really good in a bull market than we have right now. So you can see we had keepers here which pumped up really early, like even before a lot of people started talking on that on Discord and Twitter. So the way it works, you set up an alert. You either choose Discord or Telegram. You set up the number of smart wallets you want to for it to track. Let's say I set up 4 and minimum total invested Ethereum amount, and you can exclude the certain collections if you don't like to. At the same time, when you get an alert on your Discord, it has a link to the collection page, which shows a lot of data on a collection. You see this collection, Pirate Nation. To be honest, I know nothing about this collection and not advertising it anyhow, but you can see the assets of that collection with their list prices, and you can see where those listed are, etc., etc., and you can actually go to the asset history page and see the asset price, actual asset, attributes, etc., etc. I'd like to go further and actually show more on my phone, and it's even simpler if you'd like to go, if you'd like to get your notifications on your phone. I guess my phone screen should be up real
It's
soon.
up, ready
It's
to
up.
go.
All right, so the same way as web, iPhone app and the same Android app has the list of collections. You can track the floor prices. You can set basic alerts, and we have CoinStats Midas. And to enable CoinStats Midas on your phone, you don't need even to set up any notification or any settings. You just enable this premium feature, and you will start getting the new alerts with our default hand-picked features and collections right away as soon as the smart wallets are starting buying those collections. The list here isn't that exciting, to be honest, because again, last few days been hectic in crypto, you know.
Absolutely.
But it's getting better, and you can see, you can even check here the wallets who bought those collections. You can go do more research on those actual wallets and see who they are, etc., etc. At the same time, you can see a lot more data on actual collection. There's funny collection, I've just seen that, but yeah. Go around, and again, we are planning to also have the buy button here for you to actually buy the actual collection from CoinStats app. There are a lot of problems around that, starting with the actual Apple having a lot of problems with allowing to buy NFT on their iPhone apps.
Right, right.
We'll talk about it on other streams, I guess, but that's kind of showstopper for any app allowing NFT purchases. So in short, Apple says use in-app purchase for for buying an NFT. We all know it's nonsense.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that was pretty much it about CoinStats Midas and its demo on your phone. Just enable it, the toggle, and done. You start getting alerts, and it's sold under our CoinStats Premium product, which costs only, I think, $11 a month currently. But I would say it alone it could cost $11. But it comes with all other CoinStats features you've been always using all over those years, like portfolio tracking, swaps, etc., etc.
Yeah,
and
right.
on top of that, you're also getting NFT Smart Alerts, and all our current premium users could access this feature right away as soon as they get an app update, which is coming in a couple of days.
Absolutely. Stepping back to where we were talking about some of the flaws that are present in some of the other NFT apps that are currently available, you know, besides Apple, what are some of the major NFT app flaws that you guys see today? I'd like to start with Mitch. We haven't heard from him in a second.
Yeah, great
Are you
question.
still here with us, Mitch?
Yeah, let's
Let's
just
what are
crack
the major
open.
flaws that you see in NFT apps these days?
Oh, I heard the question, brother. And I think, thank you for showing the demo. That was the first time I had seen Midas. I think there are a lot of similarities with a handful of apps that I currently use. I think it's a great entry-level app, right? Like you showed the secondary monitoring view, which looked free. Again, I think a lot of, and this might have no reflection on Midas or CoinStats, right? I think a lot of apps and a lot of founders and teams are quite disconnected with how consumers actually use their product because they themselves are not traders. They themselves are not investors, they themselves are not using the actual product, right? So I'll give you a great example. We see an insane amount of deal flow and a lot of opportunities for onboarding tools and different solutions for NFT trading specifically because we are quite heavy volume NFT traders. In fact, Zeneca and I worked hand in hand with Pac-Man, the CEO founder of Blur. As you know, Zeneca's on the team.
Right.
We're also a massive investor. Our community was the first onboarded, right? So you might say, hey, what did we see in that product? And what we saw were a lot of time sensitive features, a lot of features in which you can receive real time information to then make decisions. It was also an incredibly powerful engine to sweep NFTs, all that stuff, right? So when I look at CoinStats, when I look at Midas, I'm thinking to myself that secondary dashboard that shows all the secondary sales. That's a great view, right? Right away, Icy Tools comes to mind, Moby comes to mind. There's a couple of other products that sort of like do that now that show a secondary view. So what makes this secondary view more actionable, more time sensitive than the next, right? Because that's really what it is. You want to see a lot of information or enough information to be able to have conviction to then what? Buy, sell, or trade. And so what I would do if I were you guys, right? And this is some free advice again. We work with the best tools and we build the best tools as well. What I'd recommend is instead of having the 7-day, 1-day, 5-hour, whatever the view was, right? The time increments that you can set, right? The lowest time increment you could set was 30 minutes on that demo I just saw. I would bump that down to 5 minutes. You want to know why? Because if
Gotcha.
you're making
Gotcha.
a decision, you want to be able to actually see the action within a very small window, right? So I think 5 minute is a good interval. I really like the notification feature on there. I'd also argue, why not add a live activities dashboard, right? So not just an amalgamated view of all the sales and showing only the top collections, but just seeing sales volume in general, trades happening across all the marketplaces. Maybe that could be an additional window. I'd check out Moby if I were you. But again, for me personally, I think a lot of founders, and by the way, when you pitch a demo like that, I know if you're a trader or not. I know if you actually use the product. I know if you're really talking with people that use products like these. Um, it's very obvious. And I think, again, the disconnect between builders, founders, even investors that are backing these builders and founders is that there's no clear sort of connection with the consumers actually using the product. And guess what? That's where people like Seneca and myself and Metaverse HQ and Zen Academy actually come in. We are the power users of these platforms.
Absolutely. And I wanted to actually hear Zeneca's thoughts on that as well, if you're still with us, sir.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Mitch said it so well. It's easy to come after to follow Mitch because he's just laid out all the right points. But yeah, it's really important to understand the active users and the active market, and a lot of projects maybe miss the mark a little bit. But I think it's yeah, you look at what people are looking for, and it's timeliness, it's like accuracy of like really relevant data in real time, and so like getting alerts for when certain wallets mint something is like it's like that's what everyone does these days, and if you're not doing that, you're going to miss out on stuff. And now it's like people are aggregating batches of wallets, like this alpha group, these wallets hold this NFT from this community, they're all buying this, then now we got to watch that and be like, are we going to buy that before them, after them? It's this really fascinating, constantly evolving game, and the products and teams that understand that are the ones that will build the best products. And it's yeah.
Gotcha, gotcha. Listen, guys, to move on to some of our next topics, I would first like to say thank you very much, Mitch, for joining us today. Honestly, you were, to put it in a single word, extremely informative. Thank you. We're looking forward to seeing what Metaverse HQ develops in the coming cycles, and I'm sure that we'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you.
Let's talk DeFi. Before we do that, though, I believe we have one last part of the demo here, the third demo. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, please. Zeneca, thank you again for joining us. I thought you were with us a little bit further this interview. I do apologize for that. Again, you've been very, very informative, and I'm sure that our viewers are very happy to see you here with us.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I wish I could stay around longer. Unfortunately, I have something in 5 minutes, so I do have to jump off. But yeah, this has been really great, and looking forward to continuing to see how Midas continues to develop and everything else you do at CoinStats.
For sure. And hope the traffic isn't too bad in New York, huh?
Thank you.
Moving on, I'd like to move the conversation over to DeFi. CoinStats has been busy introducing new DeFi features to the platform that will make swapping and staking much, much easier. They introduced DeFi tracking, making CoinStocks one of the only platforms to have both CeFi and DeFi in one place. Narek, can you tell us a little bit about that new feature that you've implemented? What's the reception been like?
Yeah, sure. We have been excited to release. It was kind of soft release. We are announcing it now, but for about a month, we are basically tracking over 10 different blockchains with thousands of protocols on your connected wallets on your CoinStats portfolio.
Gotcha.
Meaning that makes us the leading DeFi tracker on the market. If you haven't tried that, I would recommend going into it. We have really worked hard making all those protocols integrations, and it makes CoinStats one of a kind tool that both tracks DeFi and CeFi in one place. Although we are not really big believers of CeFi, but still most of our customers and most of our people worldwide continue using centralized exchanges, unfortunately. But yeah, here we go. We are expanding our DeFi exposure by this DeFi tracking functionality on top of our DeFi swap features and other DeFi related functionality we have had.
Well, I'd love to see how it works if you have a demo for us.
Yeah, sure. All right. Okay. Is my screen on?
Not quite yet, and there it goes.
All right. So it's all your familiar CoinStats portfolio. Considering we have a guest from Phantom, we have got Phantom Wallet here, which we also track Phantom's DeFi protocols. And if I go to DeFi tab, I see this specific wallet is not visible? Okay. So yeah, again, we track over 10 different blockchains on DeFi with thousands of protocols. Yeah, we're gonna continue supporting that and adding new blockchains over the time.
And I think that really lends to the idea that most of what the industry is doing is kind of condensing everything into single places where you can have all of your information in just one window instead of having to hop to so many different applications, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's actually about the vision of CoinStats, to bring everything in one place, because that's what we have seen with a lot of different evolutions of technology. People are used to have one place to access the internet, like we are talking about browsers, and we believe that in the future there's going to be one centralized place which will open up all the blockchain for you.
Gotcha.
Making it a front end of crypto. Is it
Let's
fine
see if
now?
that demo's working yet.
Okay. It's all your familiar CoinStats portfolio. We have connected this Phantom wallet here, and we can see there are 3 protocols which are being used by this wallet. And if you go to details, you can see all the protocol details. You can see actually what underlying tokens you have in specific protocols, and we also can see that in total this wallet has about $14,000 in DeFi. At the same time, I'd like to show this MetaMask wallet with all the DeFi holdings. We see this specific wallet has Uniswap V3 position, which is actually a great opportunity to make some good profit on your coins right now. I'm actually doing that personally as well, because with the recent problems with FTX and other centralized exchanges, a lot of people went into actually Uniswap to trade, meaning adding liquidity and making trading fees on Uniswap is a really good opportunity. Right now, if you're smart enough, you can make up to 10% on a month actually on Uniswap v3, although there are a lot of risks, impermanent loss, etc., but still a great opportunity.
Absolutely.
And at the same time, which I missed to show, is the NFTs. Again, we have this MetaMask wallet with all the NFTs in it. You can see this pretty cool wallet, pretty nice blue chip NFTs out there. And on top of that, there are a few NFTs actually in this wallet which kind of scammy airdropped NFTs. We can use the hide collection feature and actually hide those collections if you don't want to see them in your portfolios. Definitely, I don't like these birds, etc. Anyway.
I mean, having all that in one place does seem kind of like a game changer, especially because that seems to be where the industry is leading. And honestly, I haven't heard of too many applications or services that do this sort of thing yet. It's exciting to see. Speaking of DeFi, I did want to bring in some of our other DeFi partners to discuss the modern role of DeFi in crypto. There's been a pretty big shakeup, as you guys probably know, and DeFi is at the center of that. With us now is Jared from SushiSwap. SushiSwap is one of the top DEXs currently in the market. They're one of the oldest and the most trusted decentralized protocols for automated liquidity and operate at over 15 EVMs. Jared, welcome.
All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here.
You got it.
Let's see. Next, I'd like to introduce Justin from Polygon, which has been busy introducing NFTs to Meta products. They just surpassed about 190 million unique addresses on the Polygon blockchain. Justin, are you with us?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Welcome. Justin, could you tell us a little bit about what you have in store over at Polygon?
Yeah, sure. So Polygon is an Ethereum scaling solution. We focus on a variety of different scaling solutions for the Ethereum blockchain specifically. I think everyone is most familiar with the Polygon proof of stake system, where if you're using Polygon and you've made a swap on SushiSwap, or you're making NFT trades on OpenSea, that's the protocol, and that's the scaling solution that you'd be using. And but like I said, we've got 7 different scaling solutions. We're focusing on ZK EVM, a true layer 2 rollup solution right now, which is in its testnet and will go live sometime early next year. We also have data availability solutions for developers, and we're also focusing on supernets, which are app-specific chains, as another scaling solution that we are providing.
Gotcha. Swinging back around to Jared, I wanted to know if you have anything in the works over at SushiSwap, or if you could just introduce yourself a little bit.
Sure. Yeah, I'm Jared Gray. I just about 6 weeks ago took the head chef role over at Sushi, and yeah, I would say what we have in the pipeline and planned for Q1 and Q2, and then throughout 2023 is quite expansive. Justin will be happy to know that we'll be leveraging Polygon in quite a few of those instances, and
Nice.
consider them a very serious contender in the space for the solutions they provide. So happy to partner with them. I mean, my background is computer engineering. I owned and ran a engineering firm for 15 years, been in crypto for about 7, and mostly have been in DeFi since day one. But yeah, happy to be here. Sushi has a lot of stuff planned. Some of the stuff touching on what you're talking about with NFTs, but we're not quite ready there to divulge that information. But I like what I saw with the CoinStats app, and yeah.
Our final guest today is Juan over at Phantom. CoinStats was actually excited to hear the rumor that Andre Cronje had returned. It looks like the builders are back where they need to be most. Juan, welcome to the cast. What's happening over at Phantom, and could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, thanks so much for having me and chatting with you guys as well, Jared and Justin. Nice to be on the same stream. So a little bit about myself. I've been at Phantom for about a year. Been in crypto for a little longer. And before that, I was doing software sales, so traditional Web2 B2B technology sales, really. And what's going on at Phantom right now? So, I think quite a few things have changed in the last year, and of course, crypto's pretty crazy. This weekend is the perfect example of it. But we've made some adjustments to what we're building out and the position we're taking in the market. We're doing it a little bit differently, I think, from some of the other L1s that you might see out there. So as Justin said, they're a scaling solution. We're actually a totally separate layer one blockchain protocol. And really what we're focusing our effort and our time in terms of research and development is on creating a single state EVM compatible chain where what we want to do is extract a lot of the the overhead in terms of technicalities and funding costs for developers trying to get started. And what I mean by that is oftentimes we try this application, there's a ton of overhead that is not necessarily directly related to building that app. That might be security audits, that might be finding sources of funding that are for maybe micropreneurs who have smaller teams and smaller dApps. And so what we're doing is kind of an all-encompassing solution here where we're offering out-of-the-box funding and security solutions. The security part comes from our partnership with DAO, which has a product called Watchdog. It's a smart contract auditing system that is essentially providing out-of-the-box continuous smart contract auditing to any smart contract or developer that launches on Phantom. So that helps a little bit with the sort of overhead of getting started on that side of the house. And then in terms of funding, we're doing a few different experimental and pretty interesting things. We just announced today that we're the first layer one protocol of Ethereum that is incorporating Bitcoin grants, project funding. So we just started that round, as well as an ecosystem vault where essentially what we're doing is if you're a smaller team and maybe you don't need to go apply for a Series A or pre-seed, and all you really need is a recurring cash flow to scale your team and get off the ground. We essentially have validated revenue fees going back into this governance controlled pool that then goes out to builders. So that's what we're doing from a business development standpoint and offering scalability. And then ultimately from a technical standpoint, we're focused on, like I said, keeping it single state. So allowing developers who are building on Phantom to leverage the composability of building on top of other applications and not necessarily finding themselves in silos or having to become their own blockchain operators as they scale. So again, that's a bit of a different approach that we're taking. And last but not least, you asked about Andre. So yes, Andre is publicly back. He has been at the Foundation this whole time, but working a little bit more behind the scenes on the R&D. Now he's taken more of a public approach, so you'll be hearing more from him in the coming weeks. I know that was probably a longer answer than what you were initially looking for, but that's what we've been cooking up over here.
Gotcha. Well, now that we have all you guys on board, I would like to turn us back to the topic at hand, DeFi. So our first question would be, with the recent FTX debacle, it's all in our minds. We saw many discuss how DeFi and self-custody could have prevented this. I'd like to know first Justin's take on this. Justin, are you with us?
Yes, I'm here. So could DeFi have prevented this? And I would say that not only would it have prevented it, but that's the whole reason that we build decentralized finance applications. There is an issue when you're trusting someone with your assets. And when my friends and family ask me, do you use Coinbase? Do you use FTX? Do you use Binance? I tell them all, no, I manage my assets myself. And that's the whole ethos behind this. And I think it's really interesting because I think it's really the media and maybe like the politicians and the regulators that get this confused a little bit, where they do think that Coinbase and Binance and FTX and Robinhood are DeFi, when really it's not. You're trusting your assets with that custodian. And when you trust assets with that custodian, you run into potential human error or human mismanagement of those assets. And that's what we're building in DeFi as a way to be trustless and take away that risk of human error, of mismanagement of those assets.
Absolutely. Putting the trust back in the hands of the holder. It makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Jared, do you have anything to add to that?
I think Justin's right. Completely agree with that. I think that over the last few years, and as we go through these waves of adoption, we kind of maybe backpedal a little bit. with the solutions that are provided to retail participants and new entrants into the market, like what they should be using or what they should be trusting. And we put too much emphasis as an industry on providing centralized custodians as that solution. And I think the narrative needs to come back, full focus on DeFi, and more of the providers and builders that are focused maybe on building for retail, focus more building for retail in DeFi. And that way we can have have better UX across the product sphere in our part of the industry, so that we can serve more of those customers and expand, the offering to them.
I think that makes perfect sense. Moving on to our next question. What element of DeFi is missing that could spike its mainstream adoption? Narek, I'd like to hear from you on this.
Yeah, sure. Jared talked about UX. That's what we are trying to solve by making the user experience great. We have swapping feature, which actually routes some of the swaps through SushiSwap. It's using some of the decentralized exchange aggregators. At the same time, besides everyone is talking about UX and UI, but doing a lot of research and customer interviews on trying to adopt some of our DeFi features, we have also discovered that there is some issue of utility on DeFi. Like not many people actually need to swap on decentralized exchanges because, hey, they can go to Binance and FTX, etc., and make their trades, which appear to be much easier and faster, and those companies have spent a lot of time and resources to make those flows really good, to have spent on their marketing, etc. At the same time, issues that we need to solve on DeFi is around the trading fees or swap fees or any transaction fees. We know the problem with Ethereum, which is gradually solving, and other blockchains like Polygon is also working on that. Again, I think on top of UI UX, we just need more applications, more protocols besides just swapping, more financial protocols to be used by customers. And whatever user experience those protocols have, some early adopters will come in and start using them. Like we have seen NFTs. I consider NFTs should be the big part of DeFi because, again, they're the same tokens, just a bit different technology. So what I see, again, is missing user experience and missing utility and actual need to use DeFi, and which kind of overall applies to the whole crypto industry, which is, again, fine because it's solving, we're still early, and Polygon at the same time doing a great job to adopt and create use cases with other companies in the recent months or year.
To that end, I wanted to come back to Polygon. Jared, what are some of the ways that you're approaching that problem? Nautica said that you are working to solve those. Are there any kind of innovations that you're employing, or is it just a matter of hard work?
Did you mean that for Justin?
I'm so sorry. Yes, I did mean it for Justin. My mistake. Sorry about that, guys.
All good.
Yeah, I was a little confused there as well. So if we're talking specifically on the scaling side of things, I would say that, yeah, I mean, sorry, there's a little bit of an echo, so it's distracting me. But I would say that at Polygon, like, we do believe that the future is digital finance, right? And we believe that Polygon is the safest and most secure blockchain, and we believe that it will be the base layer for the future of digital finance as we know it. And we want to onboard the next 1 billion users into Web3. And the only way to do that is to scale. Ethereum doesn't scale. It's slow, it's expensive, but it's incredibly secure. And what we are building on to help with that throughput and help with that lower transaction costs is building these zero knowledge proof rollups. These true layer twos, not like our current Polygon proof of stake chain. and that's what you get there. And I think it's a very attractive solution for a lot of developers and a lot of DeFi applications, in the sense that you do have much quicker transaction time, you have lower costs, and you're still adopting that base layer security. But even besides that, I would say that one of the main things that we really need for broad DeFi adoption, which is, I'm on the Polygon DeFi team, and this is what I'm the most passionate about, I would say, is improved user experience and improved education to people about what decentralized finance actually is, because it does get mixed up in the media and in politics of what decentralized finance is and what self-custodying your assets truly is. And I think that's one of the main things. And then the UI UX is another thing. I think what CoinStats is doing is great. I think that there are a few other wallets that are integrating DeFi native applications within their wallet directly, and they're also making it to where users can just purchase their crypto directly through the wallet and then just hold it within the wallet. So you're not having to touch a centralized exchange at any point. And I think that is the most important part.
Well said. Turning back to the FTX debacle, how can we use future catalysts like this to onboard more DeFi users? Do you see any silver lining to this fall? Let's start with Juan. Are you with us still? I've been informed your internet is a little shaky.
I'm hoping it's a little better now. Can you hear me?
It's coming in and out.
Can you guys hear me? Sorry, let me try this.
I can
Sounds like I can hear you now.
Yeah, I can hear you all right.
Sorry, did you hear the question?
Juan, you're good. You can go ahead. We can hear you fine, yeah. Oh, not now.
Now we can't.
Maybe I can take that over.
Yeah, look, I mean, Juan, if you come back to us, I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. For now, I'd love to hear Narek's while the internet situation gets sorted out.
Yeah, sure. I mean, the recent situation with FTX proved us again that using centralized exchanges, by using centralized exchanges, you're exposing yourself to very high risk. And we talked about the hacking risks, so someone can hack to the cold storage of those exchanges and steal all your funds. I was actually surprised that figuring out that by using a centralized exchange, you are basically exposing to any risk out there which is possible in crypto. Like everyone is talking about USDT DPEG and risk out there, etc., etc. I mean, I myself made a decision. I'm fine with USDT. I can use it for some of my personal funds. At the same time, if you decide to not use USDT and buy some Bitcoin on centralized exchange, what we have seen, you're still exposed to USDT risk, although you are just buying Bitcoin. Because a lot of exchanges, which we have also seen by recent updates on their proof of reserves, are holding billions of dollars USDT. For some exchanges, that's number one of their holdings. So by holding a Bitcoin on centralized exchange, you are exposing yourself to USDT DPEG risk, which is a bit quite funny, to be honest, because again, Bitcoin has nothing to do with USDT almost, except both are cryptocurrencies. Again, I think this will flow more customers into DeFi using the non-custodial wallets, and that's why we are also building the CoinStats wallet at CoinStats, which is a fully non-custodial wallet. All your funds are managed by you, your keys, etc. You can basically export the private key, import somewhere else, stop using CoinStats, and CoinStats has no access to your funds.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's check and see if Juan is with us again.
All right, let's hope.
He is.
Can
Juan, are
you
you
guys
here?
hear me now? You guys hear me now? All right.
Go
Okay.
ahead, sir.
Yeah.
So hopefully this won't. So the last part of the question was whether there was a silver lining to all of this, right? So I'd say the answer to that is yes in the long term, but there are different things here. So one of course, people who are crypto natives, DeFi natives, the idea of not having custodial accounts is a huge appealing factor for reasons, whether that's ideological or otherwise, just to secure your own assets. But for people who aren't crypto natives or DeFi natives, there faced with a difficult kind of fork in the road, where on one hand they're saying, okay, we can't trust central entities that they can't prove they're actually holding what they say they're holding on our behalf. On the other hand, there's more risk, and I think I caught the last part of your sentence there. Anything can happen with funds when I'm depositing into a DeFi protocol. Of course, there are some that are more battle tested than others, and sort of confidence is higher. But across the board, kind of part of the risk that still exists for population is of really not knowing if there's something wrong with the contract itself. And I think that as we continue to build, and we're going to find more of these things and be able to patch them and really deliver an experience that people can trust without necessarily being developers themselves. And that's where the trust and trust list kind of gets blurred, because if you're not a developer, show at the source code, you can look at the Etherscan contract, but you can't make sense of itself if you have someone else saying that this is good to go. So in short, yes, I think it's going to push more people towards self-custody. There's a lot of fear because of it, and people are willing to just pull their money out of their bank account to figure out how this is going to settle. I don't think it's long-lived, and we're very bullish on the future of DeFi.
Guys, I really want to thank everyone for being here today. I think you've given our viewers a great idea of the direction of where DeFi is going, what a vision of the future is looking like. I want to thank you, Justin, and Jared, and Juan, for being here today. Your insights are always valued as kind of a view of where the industry can go, especially during this crypto winter when people need a little bit of direction.
Sure. Happy to share.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
So today, guys, what we covered, we covered a lot. We covered two kind of exciting new implementations and features of Coinbase. We heard from some CoinStats. So sorry about that. CoinStats, and we heard from some industry titans about what direction they think that DeFi is going to go in the future. Again, during this crypto winter, hopeful news is always welcome, and I, for one, am very happy to hear it. Narek, as a last thing, do you have any other exciting news that you'd like to share with us today?
Yeah, sure. We are, alongside with all those features we've talked about, we are working on a few more updates, specifically CoinStats Wallet. We are coming up with import wallet functionality, which will allow you to import any other third-party wallet and start managing it from CoinStats. That's getting access to all of the exciting features CoinStats is offering or gonna offer through its way of becoming the front end of DeFi. At the same time, we are making it easier to onboard new customers to CoinStats wallet or any other wallet by enhancing our fiat on-ramps, allowing you to buy crypto with your credit card through third parties on CoinStats and filling up your wallets with more crypto with your credit card. More to come. We are excited to share more updates on CoinStats Midas, like following top communities, etc. On top of that, buying NFT functionality, at the same time enhancing our swap and staking functionalities. And I'm sure you are looking for this. More updates are coming to our CoinStats reward program, which is, I'm gonna hint something, we're gonna come up with new rewards, which will allow you to get some more cryptocurrencies through CoinStats rewards with your Spark. More coming up. That's probably in a few months from now.
I was kind of interested to hear a little bit about the floor price tracking.
Yeah, sure. It's kind of, again, in the future we kind of talked about, you track all your NFT collections, you set an alert on the floor price of an NFT,
right.
Either a specific price or a certain percentage it changes. And if you're invested in those NFTs, you want to know when those prices are going up or down, basically get a notification when a certain price point and limit is reached on your favorite NFT collection.
You wouldn't happen to have a demo for us?
I think we've done, we haven't? Okay. I'm fine showing that. Let's. I guess we should connect this again to the stream.
Well, in the meantime, Narek, do you have anything to add about our guest today from Polygon or from Sushi?
I just wanted to thank them again for joining us for in this exciting event and exciting times for us. Also, the crypto times aren't exciting.
Right.
Again, I mean, we have seen a lot of problems
Of
last
course.
couple of days or weeks, but we are working and building, and I would recommend everyone to just focus on what they are and what they are investing in. Invest for long term, do your research on projects, and we are focused on building great tools which will be used for current early adopters of crypto and others, millions and hundreds of millions of newcomers to crypto.
Absolutely.
Whenever it happens.
And to Juan, I hope next time that we'll be able to establish a better connection. Looking forward to having you on next time. So, do you have this demo?
Yeah, sure. I mean, again, you can set a floor price alert here by selecting the NFT collection you'd like to receive alerts on. Again, I can go from my portfolio and actually select some collection, click the bell icon, and set an alert whenever Moonbird's price increases by 25%. I get a notification. Now I sit and wait. I don't have to check my phone every 2 seconds to see the price of Moonbirds. And whenever they go up by 25%, I can go back and potentially sell it or consider buying more.
Gotcha. Well, then to close up, I'd really like to give a big thanks to our guests and to Narek at CoinStats.
Thank you too.
For hosting the Supernova Fall. I hope that we've given you guys a lot to think about and something to get excited about. Before we leave, I believe we do have a Q&A.
Yep.
Let's open the floor to questions.
All right. So, will there be credit card type for CoinStats? So, I'm not sure what does this mean, to be honest, but I guess the Lenika is either asking about credit card purchase or is CoinStats going to release a crypto credit card? So I'll answer both. Yeah, there's gonna be more enhancement on credit card buy on CoinStats. Will there be CoinStats credit card? To be honest, probably no. And we won't be able to do that either because our wallet is non-custodial wallet, meaning we don't manage your funds like FTX, and we won't be able to come up with any feature like this, like allowing a crypto card or releasing a crypto credit card. Again, to me, crypto credit cards are useful, but those are just seem to be intermediary steps between the worlds. We are seeing the physical credit cards becoming more of a past stage nowadays with all this Apple Pay and Google Pays. So yeah, the answer is no. Do we have more questions over here?
Looks like George has a question here.
So it's Mehmet Igar. So are you becoming an exchange with Midas or allowing your members to buy assets using existing exchanges they connected? So again, Midas is not about actually buying, but CoinStats Midas is actually giving you data what to buy. Buying is not a story. We might come up with the features to actually buy the actual collection, but what CoinStats Midas does is giving you more information on what smart wallets are buying, and it will enhance more in more directions, giving you better investment data for you to become basically better investor and get to know more, and also saving time. Again, like I told multiple times on those live, the biggest value I personally get from CoinStats Midas is not having to spend a lot of time on social media to get to know the latest projects on NFT markets. I just enable those alerts, and whenever something new and exciting comes up about which is being talked by a lot of people, Midas sends a notification, and it's almost instant because it monitors the markets in real time, and whenever a certain amount of smart wallets, I think the number is 5 right now, buy a certain collection, it sends you notification. At the same time, we are going to enhance it by also adding some of the social feeds to CoinStats Midas, meaning if there is a certain Twitter profile which is starting being followed by a lot of influencers on NFT space or crypto space, again, you'll get to know that information, which will potentially help you become better investor on your investment decision. I hope I answered the question. Can we get more options to list and categorize different portfolios added? Can we get more options to list and categorize different portfolio? So what current option we have is allowing you to group the different portfolios. So you can create a new group, add multiple portfolios into that group, and then create next group, etc. If you have some more ideas how we can enhance that, you are very welcome to describe it better on feedback.coinstats.app. Upvote is a third-party system we use for the user feedback system, and if you have more ideas how we can make that better, we are always looking for user feedback, because user feedback is the number one thing which helped us grow to around 1 million active users. We have just built whatever being asked for, and a lot of customers starting using that more.
We've had a couple questions asking if we are planning on making our own token.
No. We are not planning to make our own token. Maybe we'll come up with it, but it's not planned potentially in a coming 6 to 12 months. But again, being a player in DeFi, makes us actually to come up with a token at some point. But for that, we need to change our organization to become a DAO, etc., etc. We are not quite ready yet. And as a private organization, we are moving much faster than becoming a DAO. So that's why it's kind of paused yet, but that's something that will be planned for potentially next a few years. So we are answering the questions that come up on the screen they choose.
Okay, all right.
Okay. I don't connect CoinStats to my exchanges because I don't trust API. How you can prove the cryptos are going to safe? So CoinStats works with read-only API keys. So you don't have to give us trading access in order to connect your exchange keys to CoinStats. Meaning, it's all safe. Nobody can even trade with those keys. But even considering that, we take the API key security at its highest priority as can be. We keep in very secure infrastructure, completely independent from your other portfolios, and it's being secured by AWS Vault, the infrastructure we use, etc. But again, you are welcome to add your read-only keys if you don't want to use some of the trading features of CoinStats, and you'll be good. You'll only use the tracking features. At the same time, CoinStats have had almost 4 years, even more years of history on keeping those API keys and never been hacked or leaked any of the data. So which also talks about its security, although we have managed, I think the number is almost 2 million API keys in our database. So hackers, you're welcome to try to hack us if you'd like to, but again, it's close to being impossible. We also pass quarterly audits by one of the best security audit companies in the world, so we are good.
As always. Oh, here's a new question. Will you enable wallet login only?
Yeah, it's coming up next month or something. Short answer, it's planned. It's obvious we should have that. We should have had that earlier.
It's a growing industry.
Yeah.
These are just growing pains. Do we have any other questions coming in?
So can I buy fiat on CoinStats without using centralized exchange? So fiat purchase on CoinStats works with other third parties, which are not centralized exchange like MoonPay, Mercurio. We are integrating Wire and a lot of other third parties. The way it will work, it will suggest the best third party for your specific region, which also accepts your region, the type of cryptocurrency you like to purchase, and yeah, take you through its flow. It's pretty good. They don't hold any of your funds. They keep your credit card details pretty secure, and some of those companies are pretty legit and have grown very big. So a lot of we trust them a lot. Also because of the fact they don't keep any crypto. So you're fine buying crypto on CoinStats with fiat through those third parties, and the list is going to expand even more.
Gotcha. Looks like another question came in. Someone saw in today's update that there will be a wallet import function. Can you provide clarity on it, that it's secure and will not be exploited or phished?
Yeah, sure. So again, we take the security as in the highest priority possible. I don't want to give a lot of details on how it's built, etc. But again, we have passed the audit by private company, one of the best in the market, who are finding a lot of issues on a lot of other smart contracts and platforms they audit. They found a lot of issues on us as well during development. They worked with our engineering teams to resolve a lot those issues, and it's highly secure right now. And I'd just encourage everyone to start importing their wallets, because again, it's non-custodial. No one has access to your funds anyhow. You can export your private keys, and if you don't like using CoinStats, you can always delete your wallets, which actually wipes up all your data from CoinStats systems any way it can be possible.
Gotcha. I think that. Oh. One more.
Can I connect to Arbitrum? I think Arbitrum support is coming up next week, or if something is already released. I'm not updated on that, to be honest, but we are gradually adding new blockchains, new chains, new EVMs, and layers of Ethereum. Actually, it's up. It's already up. I think our engineers released that last week or something. So yeah, try connecting your Arbitrum wallets and see how they work. Again, we are looking for your feedback. If you want some changes on the flows, let us know.
Let's see if we have any other questions coming in. Here's a new one. Is it possible to add more? Oh, I've lost it. Is it possible to add more exchanges to the list to keep track of like CoinLoan?
I know nothing about the exchange called CoinLoan. I'm gonna look it up right now. But we choose exchanges to support based on their volume and based on what our users ask us about. So if you get a lot of CoinLoan users, and I'm just looking, yeah, I don't know, I couldn't find much information about CoinLoan online. But again, request us on feedback.coinstats.app and get a lot of your customers, if you're from that exchange, or a lot of other users of that exchange, to upvote that, and we'll definitely take a look at it and consider integrating. Again, it's not very hard for us to add a new exchange. It's just resources we have to spend versus ROI we'd get for integrating that exchange. So if you get a lot of ask about that, we'll definitely do that. So yeah, looking forward.
How do you plan to tokenize Spark?
I'd keep this answer confidential for now.
Fair enough. Do we have any others coming in? I think that might be wrapping it up. Let's see. All right, I think that's going to close it out for today. I'd like to thank all our viewers first for joining us today. I feel like we had a lot of things to discuss and we got through a lot. Started a little late, but nonetheless, we got to hear from some industry titans and some very exciting news. Narek, do you have anything to add before we close up?
No, thanks everyone for watching again. Thanks for being part of our community, and because of you all, we have grown so big, and we are excited to share more features with you, more features for you to become better at what you're doing and actually enjoy your time in crypto, not like you have seen, you have been really in struggle last few days. I know a lot of you. So thanks
Absolutely.
again.
We'll see you in the next live event. Remember to